Hello everybody, welcome to the class of Building Business Strategy. Today's topic is customer analysis. Okay, this is the class number 9, class number 8, right? Okay, so far we have tried to build a business strategy step by step. And then very recently, in terms of analyzing a lot of data, we covered first the industry analysis, and then we covered the competitor analysis. Now it's time to do the customer analysis. Okay, so again, this is 5-step process for building business strategy, and the first step to build a business strategy is identifying the gap between the goal and our current status. That means the desired target numbers, the differences, we have to identify the differences between the target number and the current performance. And then in order to achieve the target, we listed up a lot of strategic alternatives using MISI and the concept of issue tree. And after that, we are in the process of doing a lot of analysis. We started doing some external analysis about the industry. So let's revisit what we have covered in the industry analysis. In an industry analysis, I emphasized that there are 3 things you have to remember. First one is that defining the industry is really important, and that's based on the purpose of your business strategy. So if you want to build your business strategy in a wider scope, and then it's better for you to define the industry a little bit wider. But if you want to focus on a very narrow down specific area, and it's better for you to develop to specify the industry as specific as possible. And the second step in the industry analysis is that understanding market characteristics and market dynamics. And I told you that it's better for you to use the concept of Michael Porter's 5 forces to assess whether the market is attractive or to get the overview of the market characteristics and market dynamics. And the purpose of doing market characteristics and market dynamics analysis is to determine whether the market is attractive or not. So those are the steps of what you have to do in an industry analysis. First, identify the boundary of the industry you want to analyze. And then second, check to review the industry characteristics and industry dynamics. And finally, the final step is to determine whether the industry is attractive or not. Why do we do the industry analysis? Because if the industry is attractive and a lot of people want to enter that industry, and for us who want to develop the industry, and then it's better to attack the attractive industry instead of unattractive industry. And then we did in the previous class we did competitor analysis. And let's review some of the key concepts we covered in the competitor analysis. First, I introduced the radar screen analysis with an illustration of the big giant ship of the Titanic and the battleship, Japanese battleship of Yamato case. And from the radar screen analysis, I introduced the indirect and potential competitor concept. And in a radar screen analysis, and I said that instead of looking at the direct competitor, it's better to think about the customer value proposition first, and based on the value propositions, try to list up indirect and potential competitors as well as direct competitors. So indirectors are competing with us to provide the same customer values, even though the indirect competitors and our company have the different products or services to deliver those customer services. And I also emphasize that we have to think very closely about the movements and dynamics of potential competitors, because potential competitors do not currently offer our customers the same value as we do, but it is likely that they would offer the same value in the near future. So we have to be very cautious in looking at the movements of the potential competitors. So once we identify who are our competitors in three types: direct competitors, indirect competitors, and potential competitor categories, and we also have to look at we also have to collect a lot of data about their recent trends. In collecting the data about the competitors' trends, I introduced the various methods from internal and external data analysis, and the visit to the customers and experts and competitors' site as well. And that's what we have covered in the previous classes, right? Okay, today we want to talk about the customer analysis. Customer analysis is the most important and analysis we have to do. Out of 4 analyses I have listed up, almost all companies or everybody is doing customer analysis. As I have mentioned before, competitor analysis and the core competency analysis are not done frequently, but everybody is doing industry analysis as well as customer analysis. And especially customer analysis is very important, and everybody is doing this customer analysis. Okay, first, who are the customers and why the analysis of the customers are really important? Okay, the company can earn the money to sell the products and or services to the customers, and then the customers are paying the money in return for getting the products or services, right? But as I have emphasized in introducing the concept of customer value proposition, actually the customer is interested in satisfying their needs and wants from those products and services. So they are more interested in values which are embedded in the products or services. Right? So the fundamental focus of buying the products or services are because the customers are in need of something. So when I say that needs, that's some basic things they want to fulfill. So because something like I'm hungry, I'm thirsty, I want to sleep, I'm cold. So that's why I need something to eat, something to drink, or I need something to wear, or I need a place to sleep. So those are the basic things to fulfill your basic instincts, right? That's we call the needs. Products and services are just means to fulfill the needs. And then what are the wants? What are the wants are something not required for our basic life, but we desire to have something, right? So jewelries or the brand bags or luxurious goods, those are very expensive, but we don't need in our daily life. We don't need those luxurious goods for our daily life, but we want to pay a lot of money to get those luxurious goods. So those luxurious goods are fulfilling our wants. So typically, the price of the products to fulfill our basic needs is very cheap, or the customers are very sensitive to the price of the goods to fulfill the needs. But in terms of the luxurious goods, who are providing something the customers want or desires, those products are not sensitive to the price. So even though the price of that product is very expensive, people are willing to open their wallets. And also, the scope of the target customers are really narrowed down. So the goods to fulfill the wants are not for everybody, but they are targeting a small number of the customers, maybe the upper class or the rich people. Okay, so that's the difference between the needs and wants. But in terms of some deficiencies customers want to satisfy, and that's the same. Needs and wants are the same in terms of something the customers need or want. So that's something they do not have with them right now. So they want to fulfill their needs or wants by purchasing the products or services from the company. So basically, the company exists to fulfill the needs and wants of the customers. So customers are the kings because that's the reason the company may exist. Without the customers, companies may not exist. There is no reason for the companies to exist in the world. They exist only for the purpose of satisfying the needs and wants of the customers. That's why the customers are really important. And it's very tricky that the customers' needs and wants are changing a lot. So it's not stable. So even though at some point the customers may be satisfied with the values the products or services may provide, but in other cases, who knows, they change dramatically and they do not need the previous products or the services they have satisfied. So that's why the companies have to carefully review and what's going on from the customers' needs and wants. So it's in short, it's very important to understand who are the customers and what are the needs and wants of the customers. So at first, let's try to look at who are the customers. So there are some checkpoints for customer identification. When I say that the customers, typically the buyer or the final consumer are the customers. But in some cases, suppliers who are supplying the raw materials to our company are also as important as our buyers or final consumers as well. Because without the suppliers, we cannot get the proper supply of the raw materials, so we cannot make our products or services without the suppliers.